Patrick Mahomes. Is he already in the top 5 of all-time quarterbacks? Just in my opinion, I think he's there. I thought he was there before the beginning of the season, but I don't even think there's any question now that he is.
Absolutely. If you saw that J.J. Watt interview, which I thought was fantastic, they just ask him, where is he against Elway? Where is he against, Manning?
Yep.
And better. And there was only a couple of guys, Montana and Brady, that he didn't say better. So I respect the guy, defensive player of the year, a couple years in a row that knows way more about the game than I do. I think his resume, it adds up. I mean, we can say it's Andy Reid, but I disagree. We could say it was Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, Tyreek Hill. We've taken all those out of the equation. The guy has put up numbers. He's consistently performed. He's won the AFC. What is this, the 5th time now, B? Check me on that one.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's definitely in the top 5. I'm not going to put him ahead of Manning just yet, just for the simple fact he hasn't done it long enough. Manning was so good for so long. Now, you can't hold that against him because he hasn't played as long, but I'm not going to put him, because what Manning did, Manning basically created an offense, and he ran the entire thing. Where Mahomes, a lot of it's Andy Reid, but I'm not going to knock him for playing for an outstanding offensive innovator. You can't knock the guy for that. That's silly. But at the same time, I'm not putting him ahead of Manning, but I did move him ahead of Elway for sure. And he's definitely ahead of Marino for sure. But I've got Montana, Brady, and then Manning, and then Mahomes is 4. And then you could take your pick between Elway and Marino. I like Marino because he never had a great team, but then Elway had bad teams that he took to Super Bowls. So
no, it hurts me to pass Marino up, but he's ahead of him. Yeah. Buddy said something up there. I'm gonna get to Buddy and then Josh's comment. Buddy said, Montana has nostalgia, but he's not better. Buddy, I'm sorry. You need to go back and watch that. Joe Montana, everybody in the NFL just said he hasn't passed Brady and Montana. So you might have the wrong take on that one. And then Josh, where does Mahomes, if he wins this one? I still don't think it changes it. It puts him number 3 all time for me.
Yeah. Well, this comment, just like you said, is that Montana has nostalgia but isn't better than Mahomes. Well, what wouldn't make him better? I mean, he went to 4 Super Bowls. He won them all. He was 3-time MVP in the Super Bowls. Should have been 4, but they gave one of them to Rice. And he didn't throw an interception. He threw 12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. What makes him better? What makes Mahomes better than that? Yeah. We got to stop the nonsense.
Mahomes is only 28. So, I mean, he's got the world ahead of him.
Yeah, it doesn't mean he can't pass him, but he ain't there yet.
Montana had Jerry Rice, and I believe Tyreek is put up some very Jerry Rice numbers when Mahomes had him.
It's a lazy argument,
stop the madness, Chris.
Yeah, that's a lazy argument, because when somebody says somebody had another good player that they played with, so now you're not very good or you're not as good because you had somebody else that was really good that you played with, that's about as lazy an argument as it gets.
Right, which goes against the argument earlier. We said you got to show up in the big games to be considered the great. You've got to play your best. Look at Montana's playoffs. Look at his Super Bowls.
Exactly.
And their roster was loaded, but look at how he played. So, yeah.
I mean, you act like because they had a good roster that he wasn't as good because of who was on the roster. That would mean Magic Johnson isn't as good. That would mean Kareem wasn't as good. That would mean Larry Bird wasn't as good. I mean, and that's just talking about basketball players. That means you're not as good because you played with other good people. Again, that's lazy. That's lazy or lack of knowledge, one of the two.
I'll shout out to Buddy Claiborne, said he'll do his research. That's a great man right there. A man that can admit that maybe he's got the wrong take, and he's going to do his research. Man, that guy's doing it right. It's my favorite guy.
Maybe he's probably got a good mother.
100%.
His father, I know his father. His father doesn't know shit. But his mother, on the other hand, got a good mother. And he's going to go do his research and go study up.
Yeah.
And I get it. He's trying to be a better man. I get that. Good for you, Buddy Claiborne. He shows up every week, too.